The elevator. The sky is like a puzzle with chunks of clouds floating around, tapping each other gently, forming shapes and then slowly moving apart. I stare up at it while pacing back and forth. Heel and toe, I march from one end of my living room into the kitchen, back through the living room to the outer edge of the bathroom. Moving at a steady clip down the hallway, I make a sharp left towards the front door. I count 20 steps from the front door back across the living room. I see the shiny brass doorknob and count the screws holding the handle in its place. I don't touch the knob since I'm not wearing a glove yet. I continue to walk 19 steps across the entryway and turn right into the hallway leading to my bedroom, then go another 10 steps past my bed towards the windows. There's my gloves. I step slowly, carefully. I can't afford to trip and fall. I don't want to break a bone or sprain an ankle. Anything that might land me in the emergency room would be a serious mistake. I lift my feet off the ground higher than usual, placing them down carefully. Is that a slipper lying in my path? I shove it under the dresser out of my way. I must keep moving. Today I intend to cross my threshold and leave my safe space. I've made this journey for days in my head. I know it will take exactly 36 steps to bring me from my doorway to the elevator. I don't leave my apartment until I've carefully observed the hall and ensured Millie is safely in 11C and Marina is in 11E. I listen for voices. Timing is everything. No one is making a delivery. No one is taking out their garbage. I check to see if young Raya in 11A is going out for a walk, or Luce in 11B is on her way anywhere. I pull back the eyelid covering the peephole slowly, carefully, soundlessly. If anyone is in the hall, I don't want to frighten them. I'm cautious. I've lived for 37 years on the 11th floor of this building. For the last 7 weeks, I've become fearful of leaving my apartment. Today, I'm walking to the elevator. The mud-brown colored door with its small round glass opening observes me. I am wearing a glove so I can push the button to call the elevator to my floor. I anxiously await the long minute it takes for the car to travel up from the lobby. Once it arrives, I hesitate. Do I step inside the 3-foot wide interior? Do I dare to push yet another button and drive the car back down, hoping no one has been inside before me, coughing, sneezing, or even talking to one of my neighbors? I'm wearing a mask, but are they? Or are they more casual about rules? I wonder if my desire to leave my apartment is worth risking my life. I begin to sweat. It must be the mask making me itch. Don't scratch now, whatever you do. Don't even think about touching your face under your mask. I do a mental checklist while I practice holding my breath, counting 1, 100, 2, 100, all the way to 60. But what if the elevator should stop on floor 9 or 5? Can I hold my breath for longer than a minute? What if someone delivering food or desiring to take a walk should enter the space and share it with me? What do I do? Should I throw up my hand and yell, "Stop"? Will they see me as antagonistic, angry, crazy? I question my own sanity after spending the last 7 weeks alone in my apartment. Am I afraid of confrontation or afraid of infection? Is it possible one of my neighbors is viral? Is it possible I am ill? I don't have any symptoms, and yet I could be a carrier. The elevator begins its descent. I have to make my move if I'm going to get in. No, it's leaving without me. Maybe it's best to let it go. Maybe someone else has called for it and I narrowly avoided meeting them. I've also avoided touching the handle and pulling the door towards me, as well as spending time in a space shared by neighbors and friends. It's better not to take a walk outside today. It's better just to stride the 36 steps back to my apartment. I take out my keys, reminding myself to sanitize them. They have touched my gloves, and my gloves have touched the outside knob of my door. I must remember not to touch my face. I have a false sense of security because I'm wearing gloves. I turn the lock with my key, and I twist the knob. I push my door open with my shoulder, knowing too late that now I will have to strip off my sweatshirt because it has made contact with the outside panel of my door. I'm not afraid. I'm terrified. I realize every day how vulnerable I feel. I'm old and I don't have the strength to fight an invisible enemy. I rip off my gloves, carefully turning them inside out, placing them inside each other. I can see the sky and clouds from my window. I strip off my sweatshirt and pull off my shoes, leaving them in the hallway as I begin to pace.